Hello everyone and welcome back to CodeChef. So far you have learned how to create tables and insert data into them. But real-world databases are never static. What if you want to change the structure of an existing table? Or let's suppose you want to modify or correct existing data, you want to remove unwanted records safely, or ensure data accuracy and consistency automatically. So that is exactly what we will cover today in this video. You will learn alter command, update command, delete command and SQL constraints. Plus, you will also get to learn why they are important. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how data is modified, protected and maintained in real-world databases. So let's get started. Alter command in SQL. The alter command is used to change the structure of an existing table. Alter does not change the table name or existing records directly. It modifies the schema, which means structure of the table. So we do not use alter command to change the data that we have feed inside a table, but we use it to change the overall structure of the table. Why do we need alter? So in real projects, the requirements keep changing and that is why we need to change the table structures. Then new columns are needed, existing columns need modification, constraints need to be added or removed. So instead of recreating a table there, we use alter to make changes to the existing table structure. Common operations using alter. First, add a new column. So we can use the alter command to add a new column, and we use it when a new attribute is required in a table. Secondly, modify an existing column. So it is used when we want to change the data type or size of an existing column. Then drop a column. It is used to remove a column permanently from the table. Fourth, rename a column. It depends on the database. That what are we trying to change the utility of the column or we are trying to add something new. So for that we use rename. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform and see how to use alter command in SQL. So here we have a query for reference to understand the structure or syntax of using the alter command. Alter table student, add column department, text default null, semicolon. So here alter table. This is the alter command, then student. It is the table name which is user defined. Then add column. So it is add clause. As we discussed, we can use the alter command to add columns to the table. So for that we will write add column. Then department. It is the attribute name. It is the name of the column that we want to add. Then text. This is the data type. So what kind of data will this column department hold? Textual data. Default. So it is a default constraint. And lastly, we have added the null operator and semicolon. Now let's see what is the task for us. Original table has the following rows. So this is an existing table. Now we have to write a query to do the following. First, add a column designation to the table employee. So this is the table name is employee and we have to add one more column to this table and the name of the column will be designation and we will set null as the default value for that column and output the entire table. So we also have to print the entire table in the output. Now coming to the query, alter table employee. So here alter table, this is the alter command. Employee is the table name. Add column designation, text default null, semicolon. So here add column, again this is the command to add column. Designation, this is the attribute or you can say the new column's name. Then text. So this column is going to feed data in form of text. Default and null. So by default the value for designation will be null and semicolon. Then we have written select star from employee. So this command is used to print the complete table, the entire table. Star means entire data, entire table. Let us run the query and see the output. Okay, so employee ID, employee name, department, these three columns were already there. Now we have added one more column, that is designation, and the default value for each row is null. So this is how we use alter command in SQL. Next is update command in SQL. The update command is used to modify existing records in a table. It works on rows, not columns. Why update is important? It is used to correct wrong data, to update salaries, prices, statuses, and so on, then to maintain current and accurate information. Update modifies data while alter modifies structure of the table. So this is something that we have talked about. Why do we use update? To make changes in tables data. And why do we use alter? To change the table structure, like adding columns, removing columns, and so on. Let us see an example of update command on the CodeChef platform. So here we have an example of the update statement. Update student set age is equal to 6, where student ID is equal to 23 semicolon. Here update, it is the update command syntax, then student is the table name, set. So to change data, we are writing the set clause. It will also be used as it is. It's a keyword. Age is the name of the attribute whose value we want to change, then is equal to 6. Where, so it is a where clause. Student ID is equal to 23 semicolon. So in which row do we want to change the value of age to 6? In the row where the student ID is 23. So this is how we use update command. Now let us see what is the task for us. Write a query to do the following. Set the department as HR for the employee with employee ID 02 to the existing table employee. Output all the entries of the table. Original table has the following entries. So this is an existing table, and the task for us is to change the department name to HR for the entry where employee ID is 02. Now this is the employee ID column. Here the department is operations. We need to change it to HR. And then we need to print the whole table, the updated one. And let's see the query for this one. Update employee. So here update is the keyword. It will be used as it is. Employee is the name of the table. Then we have set clause. Department. So this is the name of the column in which we want to make the change, is equal to HR. At which position do we want to insert this HR? Where employee ID is equal to 02 and semicolon. And then we have written select star from employee. So this command again will print the complete updated table in the output. Now let us run this query. So as you can see, where the employee ID is 2, the department is now updated to HR, while earlier it was operations. This is how we use update command in SQL. Delete command in SQL. The delete command removes rows from a table. The table structure remains unchanged. So whenever we want to delete any entry, any data from the table, then we use the delete command. We cannot use it to change the table structure. That means it does not work on columns. Now why delete is needed? It removes inactive users. So if we have record of users in our database and there are some users which are no more active, so to remove the data of those inactive users, we can use the delete command. Then clear outdated records and maintain clean data. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform and see how to use the delete command in SQL. So here we have an example of the delete command. To understand its syntax, delete from student where student ID is equal to 08 semicolon. Now delete from, this is the syntax for using the delete command. Student, it is the table name which is user defined. Then where, so it's a where clause, it will be used as it is. Now which row do we need to delete from the student table? Where student ID is equal to 08, semicolon. Now let us see what's the task for us. Write a query which does the following. Delete all rows in the employee table whose department is HR. Then output all the entries of the table, and original table has the following rows. So this is an existing table and we have to delete the rows which have HR in the department column. That means row 3 will be deleted from the table after applying the delete command. Coming to the query, delete from, this we have written as it is, then employee, this is the name of the table, then where, so where clause, department is equal to, in single inverted comma, HR and semicolon. Then we have written one more query, select star from the employee. So the updated table after deleting the record that has department HR will be displayed in the output. Let us run the query. As you can see, one row has been deleted whose employee ID was 3 and department was HR. Constraints in SQL. Constraints are rules applied to table columns to ensure data integrity and accuracy. They prevent invalid data from entering the database. So why constraints are important? They help us in maintaining data consistency. They avoid duplicate or null values. They enforce business rules and reduce errors at database level. And this is what makes constraints one of the most important part of SQL. Types of SQL constraints. First, not null constraint. So it ensures that a column cannot have null values. Second, unique constraint. So it ensures all values in a column are distinct. That means they are different from each other. Third is primary key constraint. It is one of the most important rules or constraints in SQL. Why? Because it helps in uniquely identifying each record. It cannot be null. A primary key cannot have a null value, and there is only one primary key per table. The next is foreign key constraint. It is used to create a relationship between two tables. Then check constraint. It ensures values meet a specific condition. So whenever we are specifying any condition in our query, the check constraint checks that the values which we are entering into the record or a table meet that specific condition. Then default constraint. It provides a default value if no value is given by the user. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform and see how to apply constraints to a table. So here we have an example. Create table student. So create table is keyword for creating a new table. Student is the name of the table which is user defined. Then bracket begin. Student ID, integer primary key, comma. So student ID is the name of the column that we want to add to this table student. The student ID column will have data of type integer. This student ID column will act as primary key for the table. Then student name. Student name column will have textual values and will be unique for each user, comma, department. Now this is the third column. Its data will be textual and no null. So that means department has to be assigned to each and every student. It cannot be null. Then check. Now after check we have a condition. Department in. Now what should be the values for department? CSE, ECE, EEE. Bracket close for the departments, bracket close for check constraint, and bracket close for the table details, semicolon. Now let's see what's the task for us. Write a query to create a table employee with the mentioned constraints on the column. Employee ID should be integer and act as primary key, comma. Employee name, again it should be text and unique for each user. then department, which is text and cannot be null. Then there is a condition, so check, and then department in sales, finance, operations. Bracket close for the condition and bracket close for the check statement. Now let's see how to do this. Create table employee, then bracket employee ID. So this is column name. What constraints we are applying on the column employee ID? Its value should be integer and it will act as the primary key for the table, employee name. This employee name column should have only textual values and it should be unique for every user. Then department. Now on column department we have the following constraints. First, it should have textual values, then it cannot be null, and then check that values that are entered in column department should be either sales or finance or operations. Bracket close, then bracket close for the check command and bracket close for the table details, semicolon. Now let us run the program. Okay, so we have created the table. Now here, since we have not written select star from employee, so the table will not be displayed in the output, but this is the command that we can use to create table with constraints. That's all for today's video. If you understand how alter, update, delete and constraints work in SQL, you are already thinking like a database developer. Now, next step for you is to practice using these commands on real-world tables. So try writing queries without looking at the notes and solve SQL problems regularly on the CodeChef platform. Thank you so much for watching.